Welcome back, traders, to my market outlook on index futures for the week of December 21st. Now, apologies, I do have this out one day later than usual. Normally, I have this out Sunday night, but it's currently December 22nd, Monday morning, a little bit after 2 o'clock. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the chart, and I'll give you my analysis, and hopefully I'll get this out before pre-market. Yeah, I just got into some stuff and completely forgot. So apologies. I hope you'll still like this video and subscribe for more analysis, but let's go ahead and jump right into the charts. So right now I am looking at S&P on the weekly chart. This is going to be the March contract. The December contract expired last week, and you can see it's pretty spotty, but that's okay. We're just going to go ahead and look at the most recent price action on the weekly chart. So if you look back here in October, we do have this fair value gap, some volume balances, but like I said, it's a little spotty. I'm going to opt not to use this big gap here, but you can if you want to in your own charts. I'm going to opt not to. And instead, I'm going to take a look at this little sliver right here. There's a small little fair value gap. I'll just go ahead and mark it out. And when combining that with measuring this wick on the weekly, we have 50%, but if you look at the 75% level, it lines up with this fair value gap. So I feel like this may come into play maybe sometime this week. Now, talking about this week, it is Christmas week. On Wednesday, it's going to be early close, Thursday, holiday. So I think most of the trading is going to be done on Monday and Tuesday and pretty much just be sideways for the rest of the week. So expect volatility on Monday or Tuesday. But anyways, I think we could come back down into this fair value gap. And then I'm looking for the buy side. I'm looking for this all-time high to get taken. Of course, we also have this high right here on the weekly. I think if we go through this, there's a good chance we can go for new all-time highs as well. Even though I measured this wick right here, we could come back down to 50%, but I really don't want to see price go much lower than that. We do have sell side mark here, but I don't want to see it get taken before we go for the buy side. So right now I am pretty bullish on S&P. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the daily chart and get a closer look. All right, so here on the daily, you can see I have buy side marked out up here. And of course, we do have some gaps right all the way back here. I'm choosing not to label any of these. Instead, we have that weekly fair value gap, and I believe last week or a couple of weeks ago, I said that this was going to be my last line of defense. Price did come back down. I'm not thrilled that we closed below it, but I can see that it was pretty much going into this wick right here. This is the order block wick. So it's reasonable to see that price went into it. And then as you can see, rallying on Friday, going away from this fair value gap. So that is going to be a bullish sign that gives me conviction that we may be heading for higher targets, namely this high and of course all-time highs. If you look if you look at the past 3 weeks, you don't see any inefficiencies here. All the wicks and bodies are overlapping, so there's no inefficiencies that we're reaching to. So if we are going higher, we're going to be going for liquidity, which is above this high and above this high. Now, where am I going to admit that I am wrong? Well, price, if you measure that weekly wick here, you can see it lines up, the 75% level lines up with that weekly fair value gap. I think there's a good chance that we can drop back down just a little bit of retracement into this level here. And then I want to see pretty much big moves to the upside, not really having much resistance at all. Now, price can come back down, revisit this large fair value gap and go into 50% of the wick. But like I said, I don't really want to see price go much lower than that. I don't want to see it close in the lower half of this fair value gap. And certainly I do not want to see this low get taken out. The big idea here is that we are bullish and we are going to go for a rally for all-time highs. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into Nasdaq. And we're on the March contract once again. So NQH 2026. And let's first take a look at the weekly chart. So like I said, pretty spotty since we are on a new contract month, and I'm not going to use this fair value gap or these volume balances. Really, I'm just going to take a look at this long wick that we had last week, and I have the sell side marked out as the low of last week. And then buy side, I got 2 buy sides here, all-time highs, but before that, we do have relative equal highs. Now this one is a little bit higher than this one, but it's very close. So if I just take this way, you can see it's super close. You can hardly tell. So I'm marking both of these up as equal highs. And then of course, I'm grading this wick with the 75, 50, and 25% level. But other than this, there's not much else to see here. So I'm going to go straight into the daily chart. Now in the daily chart, just to get our bearings here, we have all-time highs over here at this high. These are the equal highs. And if you look over here, we still have that daily fair value gap that has never been tapped into. So I think this is going to be a high probability target. Whether or not we go for new all-time highs, I think we have a chance, but the safer bet is just to target the equal highs over here with this fair value gap. And below it, you can see we do have a daily volume imbalance, but I'm not too concerned. I haven't marked that here. What I really want to see is once price get up to it, I want to see that it offers no resistance, or if it pulls back, it's a small pullback. I don't want to see a big pullback from here, and I want to see price just punch through it with no resistance, going for the sell side, or sorry, the buy side liquidity and the internal liquidity of this fair value gap. So again, bullish targets. And where can it be wrong? Well, price can come back down. And as you see last week, it did come all the way down. It went through this fair value gap. I was not thrilled with that, but I can see what it was doing. It was coming into this daily order block, right? This was the last down candle. It was a huge down candle. So yeah, we can go ahead and think that price came back down into this order block, and I marked out 50% of the body. So here's the mean threshold, which price never got to. So once again, another bullish sign. In fact, it's interesting, if you take this and go to the high of this order block, you can see that the mean threshold, if you just take the entire range, it lines up with 50%, 50% of it, the mean threshold lines up with the body of these daily candles. The bodies never close below this mean threshold. So again, the price is telling you that it is going to go up, it is going to be bullish. Now, it is going to retrace a little bit though, or a good chance it could retrace back down into that weekly wick, 75%. I think 50% is likely as well, as we also have a volume imbalance here. So I think it could come back down into here to rebalance this inefficiency, tap into 50% of the wick, but I really don't want to see price go much lower than that. And certainly I do not want to see price take out this swing low. I guess there is a possibility it does and it goes back into this volume balance, but really I think if price goes all the way down there, we're gonna be having some troubles going up on the bullish side. Instead, I just want to see a tap into 50% and then rocket up for this volume balance, and of course these equal highs and all of the liquidity here. Whether or not we get new all-time highs, I mean, that's up to you guys. The low-hanging fruit, I believe, is going to be these highs over here. So that's it. That's going to do it for this week. Remember, it is going to be a holiday week on Wednesday and Thursday. Don't expect too much, and just take the time off, get away from the charts, and spend some time with your family. There are more important things than trading. With that said, guys, I hope you do have a good week of safe trading on Monday and Tuesday. And like this video, subscribe for more analysis like this. And until I see you next time, safe trading.